will be advised. Although those techniques are not meant for aggression and all any other, just for self-protection, and you go. Now, investigative journalism is a special branch of reporting. Just like we have all the police, but there are special units that deal with complicated crime. So journalists also deal with complicated stories that need thorough investigation. He will tell you that we are now in a society that has become enlightened and is demanding for accountability from their leaders and from anything that is for public good.
Yeah, I am Maraka Matara, the National Chairman for Kenya Correspondents Association, KCA. We are today here in Kisumu organizing a training on investigative journalism for rural journalists. This is one of the activities of KCA of trying to empower young journalists who do not get access to some of the trainings and who have come from school and have limited training. KCA is committed to ensure that the journalists are given access to facilities that can empower them and in the future polish their profession. We have also other activities that are generated by the journalists themselves from the rural areas, where they interact with officials from the two levels of government and try to better their profession. I want to clarify here that for a very long time, journalists do not know that there are openings in KCA that they can benefit from. We encourage them to register with us, and at some time they might also be mentored to become the officials of the Board of Management. KCA management takes exception of any inadequacies in training on their members and any other members who are outside, that they must ensure they are empowered to practice without fear or favor. We do it under the new constitution, and we also encourage journalists to exercise the existing freedoms of expression and freedom of media so that they can better their lives. Thank you.
National Treasurer for KCA. Today we are here in Kisumu trying to mentor young journalists. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all the partners who have seen us through. They have supported activities that has enabled our colleagues empowered in different avenues. And more so, for this case, I want to single out the European Union, who gave us resources to ensure that we mentor the young journalists. We integrate them with the senior journalists, veterans, so they are able to gather the experience and face the new challenges that are emerging within our environments. KCA is very keen in empowering the members, and they have done this for more than 20 years. Many of them can attest to this, that we have trained journalists on corruption, we have trained journalists on environmental studies, we have trained journalists on access to information, we have trained journalists on investigative journalism, and many others. So We are so much grateful to our partners, and we look forward to continue engaging. Thank you.
My name is William Olojanak. I'm the Director of Programs at the Kenya Correspondents Association. Today we are in Kisumu, and with me is the National Chairman of the Kenya Correspondents Association and the Treasurer. These are board members. The board of the Kenya Correspondents Association has worked very hard. And in terms of directing the operations of the Kenya Correspondents Association, integrating our activities with the rest of the media sector, in terms of press freedom and all the other activities. So particularly here in Kisumu, we were here to launch the start of a project, a 36-month project on investigative journalism, and largely focusing on rural journalists. They will be trained for the next 36 months, beginning from February 2025 to February 2028. We have support from the European Union. We are also working in consortium arrangement with Aspen, Kenya, and Free Press Unlimited. So as the three partners, we have been supported by the European Union. We'll be training 60 journalists, 20 in the Nyanza region, 20 in the Nairobi and its environs, and another 20 in the coast. We'll also have 3 dialogue sessions where the media dialogue sessions will bring in media people, but also other stakeholders, government agencies, civil society organizations, women and elders and everybody else to appreciate the role of the media, because media is very important. So we want the conversation to talk about the role of the media in society and to get suggestions from the public regarding what they would like the media to focus on. So this training here in Kisumu has brought 20 journalists, and then we have trainers, very qualified, that will not only train them, but will also mentor them throughout the 36 months to ensure that we have a new generation of qualified and competent investigative journalists, because investigative journalism is very important for uncovering issues around corruption, human rights, and promoting good governance. So we'll be going ahead. We of course let the rest of the media industry, we are collaborating with everybody else, and we do this especially through the Kenya Media Sector Working Group and all the other partners. We also work with civil society. So we'll be doing this also in furtherance of Kenya's objectives, especially Agenda 2030, and of course we are talking about all the other needs of the society, including observance of human rights, good governance, good development all through, because that is what journalists contribute to societal development.
That process, I think the process itself might be the risk, because building trust, when we say building trust, that is not a risk, but the process of building that trust becomes a risk, because you don't know whom you are speaking to. The process of building trust with the sources. No.
Also among the whistleblower.
Yeah.
Whistleblower. Make it whistleblower.
It was risky building that trust with the sources, because you don't know when I come to, for example, him to maybe interview him on a criminal activity. I don't know if he might be used against me or not. So it needs courage.
There's also this other thing.
So I think on that.
My name is Caleb Atemi. I'm a media trainer and mentor. I'm delighted to be part of this team, Kenya Correspondents Association, to train journalists in Western Kenya region on investigative journalism, so that they can grow that aspect of journalism in telling stories
that hold society to account, that help citizens grow and become better individuals. I was also delighted to share just a little snippet of what I'll be sharing next year on safety and security of journalists, based on my interaction with martial arts as former president of Kenya Karate Federation, teaching them skills that can help them survive in the world of the media that can sometimes turn sour and dangerous. So it's been a good journey, a good training for 3 days, and we hope that from here we'll work with them and mentor them in enhancing their skills in writing and telling better stories for society.
Thank you very much. I'm Kevin Omolo. For this program, I am a trainer and a mentor in SAFIRI project. So apart from that, I'm also a journalist of many years and managing editor for Lake Region Bulletin. Now, I think this training is quite important to young journalists because of the kind of skills that have been exposed here. Many young journalists, especially those in their early stages of journalism life, do not find it very easy to get into investigative reporting, because investigative reporting requires much more time, much more resources, much more resilience, and deeper thinking when it comes to ideation of investigative stories to be done. So from the training, the journalists have shared their experiences, the trainers have shared their experiences, and you can see that the journalists have come out with something that they can now put into practice. Part of this project, as you can be aware, the project is long-term, over 30 months, and this means it's going to be a journey between us and the mentees, so that we can be able to get the next cohort of investigative journalists, because investigative journalism is becoming one of the key forms of journalism, given that issues of human rights, issues of corruption, issues of mismanagement continue to manifest in our governance. And through this project, we are looking forward to see young journalists also coming up with some of the story ideas which can transform the communities.
My name is Victoria Magar. I'm a journalist based in Busia. For this training with KCA about the investigative journalism, I've gained so much insight about doing an investigative story, and even how to pitch a good investigative story. And there's some insights that I've learned, that as a journalist I'm supposed to do an investigative story which is so in-depth, with a lot. I have to do a lot of research. I have to have sources, enough sources, that is, to get my story interesting and readable. And then another thing I've learned from this training is, as a journalist, I'm not supposed to focus on the source of the story, or rather I'm supposed to focus on the issue the person is talking about, or an organization is talking about, and from there I can create a good story and different kind of story from that one issue. Yeah.
My name is Nyachai Brian. I work at Radio Vuna 102.0 FM, a media house that is based in KCA County, broadcasting in the region of Southern Nyanza. I'm so privileged to have been part of this training by the Kenya Correspondents Association. This has been an eye-opener. There are immense opportunities that many journalists we are not aware of, because we are not given to such a kind and level of exposure. The trainers were amazing. The depth of knowledge they possess, it is something that will take years to get to their level, and it was a great opportunity to have found a platform to share with them. I look forward to implementing these things in my personal career and also journey together as we grow in this career of journalism, and also part of the Kenya Correspondents Association henceforth.
My name is Andrew Bitok. I work for Nanyon TV at Northwest Region. I've come for the KCA training for the last 3 days and I appreciate ningependa kushukuru how the training has been going on well. I've learned so many things about investigative journalism, about the techniques that we need to use when it's My name is Sandra Bitok. I work for Nanyon TV in the Northwest Region, based in Eldoret. I've been here for the last 3 days, being trained by the Kenya Correspondents Association, KCA, about investigative journalism. And now I have learned so many things on how to report and do stories concerning investigative reports. And I've learned the different techniques on how to do these stories. And now, when I go back, I'll go try to use the methods that I have learned from this training to do my stories. Now I'm going to elevate a different person from the person I came in to Kisumu in the last 3 days. Thank you.
Perhaps how the state of trends is okay. How do you think business in terms of the acquisition and that they have kind of handling it since you came?
Okay, concerning how I've been staying here in this hotel and the accommodation. So for my stay here, I have enjoyed, and I'd like to say that I appreciate the KCA for the process that what they did to accommodate us through this hotel, and everything was enjoyable meals, maybe bedding standards, and all those things that takes to accommodation, and I must say thank you for that.
Hi, my name is Marcia Chen, a freelance journalist based in Nairobi. I'm so glad to have been selected by KCA to participate in their mentorship program on investigative journalism. I'm glad to have learned lots of skills, especially in pitching and grant writing. And I'm confident that going outside, I'll apply these skills to cover more stories that are solution-oriented and that will create a great impact on the society. The KCA training on investigative journalism has been very interactive. We had group discussions and we were able to share from different journalists from all over the Nyanza region, Kisii, Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, literally everywhere. And we are so happy to exchange knowledge that will be useful to us. Our trainers are also well knowledgeable and we are happy to gain knowledge from them.
My name is William Olo Janak. I'm the Director of Programs at the Kenya Correspondents Association. And Kenya Correspondents Association is implementing a 36-month project, which we have named SAFIRI. And the project is focusing on empowering journalists on investigative journalism. And particularly, we are focusing on young journalists. So this year will be, throughout the project, we'll train 60 journalists. 20 in the Nyanza and Nyanza region, which covers a wider region beyond Nyanza, those counties around the lake region. And then we'll also be we'll also cover the Nairobi region, another 20, which will also, of course, cover areas central, eastern, and those. And then we'll also have the coast. The coast region will also cover Kwale, Kilifi, Tana River, and all Taita Taveta, and all the others. So part of the focus is to ensure that we grow a new team of investigative journalists. Investigative journalism has gone down a bit in Kenya, but we think that is a key area so that then the journalists that are going to be trained are able to bring out uncensored stories that will help in holding the leaders and institutions of governance accountable. And we have selected a team of the 60 journalists It was a very competitive process, but we are happy that a number of very interested journalists and young journalists between 18 and 35 have come on board. So we'll go work with them throughout the 36-month journey. We have assembled a team of trainers and also mentors who will also take them through this. So throughout that whole period of 36 months, they will be engaged more or less on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. Those who have been trained will be taken through mentorship. Those who are yet to train will train and be taken through the mentorship. And after this Kisumu training, which is here, which has taken place from July 9th to 11th, we are doing 3 days each. We'll be moving to Nairobi. Nairobi, most likely in August or early September. We'll also train for 3 days, another 20. And then we'll move to Mombasa in late September or October, train another 20. Meanwhile, the team of trainers and mentors who are gathered are going to sit together to look at the best way to structure the mentorship so that all of them go through a uniform process. And even the training will be uniform process. Now, the training focuses on investigative journalism, but also on safety training for the journalists, because investigative journalism is risky. So what we will take them through is what are the elements of safety that they need and the skills they need to adopt as they go to look for the investigative stories. Then the other component is also the question of ethics. Ethics is very important in investigative journalism because it ensures that the journalists keep to the path that is ethical, that enables them to avoid the dangers and also the compromises that come with the investigating tough stories on corruption, on governance, and on human rights. We are working together in this project with 2 other partners, ASPEN, Africa Initiative, and also Free Press Unlimited. Free Press Unlimited is based in the Netherlands and then works from there as a partner. And then ASPEN, Africa Initiative, has an office in Nairobi, although it also works beyond Kenya. And then this project is supported in terms of funding by the European Union. So European Union and Kenya are very close. European Union has a whole arrangement regarding its processes of supporting developing countries. So at the Kenyan level, it is supporting Kenya, and this project is also speaking to Kenya's Vision 2030. So it means that there's interlinkage between what the journalists are doing and what the European Union and Kenya as a country are doing at the bilateral level, so that the growth is not just in the other areas, but also in terms of media, which is very important in terms of focus